Okay, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the spiritual existence in comparison to the psychotic experience and why spirituality mimics mental disorders such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and etc. I talk about this a lot on my other channel, Phoenix Marvelous, and I talk about how a lot of the symptoms of schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, autism, so on. Anytime you're dealing with a mental health spectrum or the ability to broaden horizons, this approaches symptoms such as like seeing things, hearing things, feeling things that may or may not be there are the exact same things that spiritual people experience, mediums experience, psychics experience. So it makes me wonder, is the person actually having a mental health episode, or is this person actually in tune with the spiritual aspect of life? Because a lot of people who are extremely in tune with spirituality tend to mimic mental health, because a lot of professionals do not know how to explain their connectiveness to the spirit. A lot of people talk about religion, Christianity, and the Bible, codes of conduct as far as religion go, but a lot of people are not spiritually in tuned, and it's insane to think about because God himself is a spirit. He is not actually a person. Jesus was made in God's image because God was the perfect energy. So we're not going to get into that. We'll get into that on a different video, but let's just go ahead and get into it. So before we kind of go into the ratio of how these compare, I kind of want to give you guys a spectrum of what both of these are in a definite sense. So spirituality is the recognition of a feeling or sense that is something greater than self. So this is the knowing that there's something out there that is outside of yourself. This is kind of how people know that there's other planets that have life on them. People know that ghosts exist, things like that. It continues to say something more to being human than sensory experience. So the senses are, your smell, your touch, your sight, okay? The things that you can actually physically see, touch, and smell, okay? Knowing that there's something outside of what you can perceive is a spiritual connection. It goes on to say whole beings in cosmic and divine energy and nature. Okay, so these people tend to believe in the cosmic and the divine, okay, energies and nature. Now let's go into psychosis or psychotic and see what that says. It is a mental health problem that causes people to perceive, interpret, things different than they are. Okay, so kind of similar to what we just said. It's the perception outside of oneself. A lot of people with psychotic symptoms in a psychotic state are usually in an altered consciousness, altered reality. An altered reality is not your reality, so it isn't the reality that you're living in. So that's kind of why they come off to be so much different. And it's very similar to spiritual people. Spiritual people come off to be very, very different than their peers, than their family, etc. Okay. Let's go on into the symptoms of each, and I'm going to show you guys how they kind of mimic each other. So with the spiritual awakening, you have disconnection and detachment, okay? A lot of people with mental disorders, mental health issues, they are detached from reality. We just mentioned that. We have reevaluation of beliefs, okay? People with things like bipolar disorder, multiple personalities, they constantly change their realities, okay? They constantly shift their moods. So this is like very similar to that. We have vivid dreams. We have synchronicities, deja vu, and intuition. Okay. We have loneliness. Loneliness was significant because a lot of people with mental illness or health deal with loneliness, abandonment issues, or some type of issue regarding the relationship aspect of life. We have connections to the natural world. We have heightened senses, and they also have physical symptoms. So of course, the psychotic side has physical symptoms as well. Okay, but yeah. So for psychosis, they believe that an event has special or personal meaning to them. Their thoughts are, they believe that their thoughts aren't their own. So if your thoughts aren't your own, usually they're coming from somewhere else. So they're coming from the divine, the cosmic, the supernatural, the mystical. Okay. They have false belief of superiority. Okay. So this is like believing you're more important than you actually are. And we have visual hallucinations. Okay. But with false beliefs of superiority, either you can say that these people are believing that they're more important than they are, or you can say that these people are sitting on spiritual thrones that other people cannot see. Okay. And then we have visual hallucinations. Okay. So again, when we mentioned in the spiritual aspect, being able to see things that are not there, psychics, mediums, it's the same thing. Okay. So are these people actually hallucinating or hearing voices? Or are these people actually hearing the divine, the cosmic, the supernatural? Okay. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I'm gone.